Welcome back to the program. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. Before we took that break, we did say that today we're taking a look at issues around the fuel hike, as well as matters arising, how are Nigerians coping, and what exactly is going on as we speak. We do have in the studio policy communications advisor, and of course together we'll take a look at the conversation today. Abimbola Agboluaje is with us here in the studio. Good morning, and thank you for being here on the program.
Yeah, good morning.
Today.
You're welcome.
I'm going to start from your forte, which is communications.
Okay.
And so I'm going to ask you, how important is it for a proper communication between government and the people? Because it looks like that is lacking here between Nigerians and the federal government. Sometimes policies are made and we do not have a total breakdown of those policies and how they affect you and I, the common Nigerian. So let's start on that level with the fuel issue. Are Nigerians in the know of what exactly is going on?
Thank you. Of course, Nigerians are not in the know, and it's quite unfortunate when you have two things not working well. Okay. People would often say that Nigerian governments don't know how to communicate, they don't talk to the people. It's true. But there's also a more fundamental problem. Okay. They arrive in government without a proper agenda. Nothing well thought through, and when you add to that total disaster in terms of the way they organize their communications, that's the impact. That's what you're saying. So there is less trust. Things may be bad, but people can be reasonable if you communicate to them truthfully, honestly. Just imagine what the government has been doing for like 6 months now. Anyone who knows the exchange rate of the dollar, who knows that petrol is imported, knows that there's a subsidy. The government has kept denying the obvious fact that we have a subsidy. Look at what's happened over the weekend and earlier in the week. Dangote saying government is regulating the sector. Government is the off-taker. The government saying we're not regulating. The statement they issued over the weekend, you need like 4 PhDs in economics to decode it. What's the government? What's the NNPC saying here? Is the subsidy gone? We are suggesting you buy from Dangote only if Dangote's price is cheaper than the pump price, which is a subsidized price. How is that possible? It's a mess, and the government is not doing itself any favor. The commercial director, or is it the finance director of the NNPC, coming out to say, oh, we're not subsidizing, we are covering the shortfall. If you have a committee in a secondary school to manage something, that will be a shocking level of incompetence. And I don't know, it's just, you know, people like that are pro-reform. They put you in a very bad light. You believe in what they want to do, but they're just messing it up.
I'm going to take you back to what you said while starting, and you did say that the second problem is sometimes political office holders do come in without an iota of what to do about governance. And when Mr. President, of course, during his inauguration said subsidy is gone, a lot of Nigerians figured that it probably had the wand, the magic wand to fix that problem, and that was why he made that pronouncement or that declaration. But since that, since May 2023 up till today, if we take a look at the number of times that there has been adjustment in the pump price of petrol, it's been over 6 times, and we're not sure where this is the last time that we're hearing about that. So, is it a case of the oil and gas industry generally being overwhelming, or a situation where, again, issues around the truths not being properly unraveled here, that is the problem?
Yeah, let me go back to something I said, trust. The government can, well, we all accept, I accept, they didn't plan the removal of subsidy very well. There are manuals you can get for free on the internet. Our subsidy has been removed in Indonesia, in Malaysia, and other countries. What you normally do, it's a painful thing to do. What you normally do is to have a plan to deliver palliatives that you'd have thought of carefully, the cost, are you going to deliver, are you going to, ensure it against corruption and all that. That's what you put forward, and you negotiate with labor and all stakeholders. Okay. So, everyone is fully on board, they know what you want to do. They didn't do that. So they've now made it worse by schoolboy lies, saying that there's no subsidy.
So, again, you're putting it out there that you feel that irrespective of what Mr. President said, there is still subsidy somewhere, because this can't be done without subsidy.
It's very, very clear. We know what the price of petrol in New York, for instance, per liter is roughly $1. And so that's, how much is $1 in Nigeria in Naira? What's the exchange rate?
At the moment is about 1,006.
Exactly. So how can petrol be sold for 600 or 800 in Nigeria?
It is the global forces that actually declare or decide the pricing of petrol. That's what we've been made to hear. So it is not necessarily so. If you're comparing 1,006 or 1,650 to what we're buying now.
Well, sorry, the price in New York has taxes. What they do is not to give the petrol as a subsidy, but even tax it to spend in other areas of the economy.
So if you're buying in New York, you're buying and then you're paying taxes as well.
Yeah, so let's assume the global price is 90 cents or 85. That's around 1,002. So who's paying the difference? So they just make something difficult a lot more difficult by telling schoolboy lies. Okay. Because when you're lying to people, you are destroying trust. Yeah. You could explain to people, sorry, we took the subsidy off. We thought it's gone. Well, we may have planned it better. We liberalized the foreign exchange rate. Well, it's what it is. It's the rate didn't pan out as we planned, and that's why we have a subsidy. And this is what we are doing. Okay. To
elevate the
exactly. So we can discuss, what's to be done. But someone wakes up and lies to you every day. They're destroying trust.
So for you, do you think that there's a need for the federal government to backtrack and probably also find a way to communicate to Nigerians where exactly we are, and then probably also take back the pronouncement about subsidies gone?
What do you mean take back?
I mean, just let Nigerians know that, all right, maybe that was done in error, and then we cannot take it away fully at the moment. It has to be a gradual process.
Well, exactly. And there's a way you communicate and admit your error that shows you're not incompetent. Some things were just out of your control. Okay. And it's not so hard if they want to do it properly. Subsidy will kill Nigeria. It's killing Nigeria. It's unaffordable. Okay. And, over the last 40 years, when we've had subsidy, what have Nigerians gained?
Okay.
There was a time we used to have Beninese, Togolese, Ivorians, even Indians coming to work in our economy because the Naira was strong. Life was a bit good. That was spending our income forward spending our income.
Right.
Now, Nigerians have been, we're being hounded for
in our
working
own country.
We're exporting labor because incomes have collapsed there. We're going to Togo to work. We're going to Ghana to work.
We're going to UK to work.
Well, that you'd say, okay, well, in that, qualified people, doctors, who have degrees are coming to professionals, are going to the UK to do many jobs. So,
right.
What has subsidy done to anyone? It's made us poorer progressively. It's killed the oil industry. We've gone from using our wealth to pay for the subsidy, to borrowing in dollars to pay for the subsidy. We are indebted. The NNPC owes international oil traders $6.8 billion.
Right.
So anyone who argues that the subsidy should stay should come and justify how.
Why it should stay.
It's just the government that needs to organize its act and just tell people the truth
that needs to be told. I mean, we've said it here that the truth needs to be laid bare. But again, we do not, at the moment, if we take a look at our refining capacity, I'm not sure we can lay hold on, because as we speak, none of our refineries are performing optimally. And
yes.
NNPC has from time to time told us this refinery will come to play this month, and they keep pushing, keep postponing. And now we're dependent on the Dangote refinery, which is a privately owned refinery. What exactly does our refining capacity, is there a role it will play here that we're not even sure what it is we are serious about in the oil and gas sector?
We already have a solution, and that solution is called Dangote Refinery.
Okay.
What we should take out of the way so that solution can work is our love for things that do not work. Subsidy. You said the refineries are not working. After years and years of multi-million, multi-dollar, multi-billion naira
turnaround maintenance,
we tend to ask for what's not working, what's not possible. And it's not only people in government that should own up and say we've been making a mistake, we're all responsible for this. Even the labor unions, the journalists, the columnists, the newspapers, we've been asking for what will ruin us, which is subsidy.
Okay.
Someone called Dangote was able to raise money and build a refinery that's working, providing for that's world class.
Right.
He's been able to build a power plant of 1,500 megawatts, adding more if we were to take it to the grid than we've not been able to do in 11 years. That tells you something. If government gets out of the way and if we transit from this idea that things can be free, subsidy can be given, and let the private sector and prices that provide incentives for investment start to work in the sector, things will be okay.
Okay.
Dangote Refinery is ready to start supplying. It's a world-class refinery.
Right.
What the problem seems to be is the government doesn't want to own up that subsidy is gone. Mr. Dangote, you've done a good job building the refinery. Start supplying the market. We don't tend to focus on the loss, the uncertainty. An investor looking at you will feel as still a joke. Something has failed for 40 years, and they're still trying to hold on to it. People are spending hundreds of hours in petrol queues. The impression it gives about your country that you can't do simple things.
Right.
So we have a solution. We should let it work.
Abimbola, as we speak, from what is on ground, as at this morning, of course, we still heard the news that there's a possibility that the marketers could start sourcing for their product outside the shores of Nigeria again, because according to them, Dangote might, come with a higher price than what they can afford. And one would have thought that why not buy from a local refinery? Can you make sense out of what exactly is playing out here?
Honestly, that's so ridiculous. I don't think anyone will say that. Because when Dangote sells to you, the price of transporting fuel, it's not significant. But at least to take that off compared to what you buy, the price you pay when you buy in Singapore or in India.
Right, but why are they being adamant here that they will source for the product anyway it is cheaper for them? That's the independent marketers.
It's the NNPC and the government causing this confusion.
Right.
Once the government says it's a private sector, it's deregulated.
Which they have said.
But they're saying that and causing the confusion by reference to buy from Dangote only if Dangote's price is lower than the pump price. So that's a fake price. If you go all over Nigeria today, you buy for 1,214. So which?
But Dangote is a businessman himself. Shouldn't he be the one that should determine how much he should be selling from his own refinery, since it is his business? And so why is he also throwing that at the back of the government, saying only FEC can determine how much we will sell the product?
I think it's the government causing problems for Dangote. Over like 40 years, Nigerians have gotten used to the fantasy that the government owes them the responsibility to sell them fuel below the price in Ghana, below the price in Sierra Leone or Gabon. So think of it, Nigerians can be quite boisterous. You don't want to be the person that says, oh, I'm selling you fuel at market price. So I think Dangote is being a bit shy.
He's being careful.
He doesn't want to take the
bull by the horn.
He doesn't want to be blamed for selling fuel at double the price to Nigerians. That's the only. It's government that should say it's a deregulated market,
which they've said often. I mean,
yeah, but that's causing confusion by referring.
So which they've said many times that it is a free market, and they also said they cannot be the sole off-taker of petroleum or the products from the Dangote refinery, saying the independent marketers can also buy from the Dangote refinery, since it is a free market. But yet, we still have Aliko Dangote saying until the federal government of Nigeria says or gives a price that they're willing to buy the commodity from him. So again, are you still sticking with the fact that it is the federal government that is still causing the confusion?
That's what you call mixed messaging. I can be the sole off-taker, but Dangote can sell to me if the price is cheaper than the price I'm subsidizing.
Are they trying to
hoodwink him? It's not making sense. No, they want just to make him a victim of the, just being too afraid to tell, the public what it is. The message should be simple. Congratulations, Nigerians. We have a world-class refinery. Okay. It's producing world-class fuel. It's going to supply the market. Marketers will buy from Dangote and fuel will be available. As things move on, because it's a deregulated market and we have free prices, there'll be time when the prices will fluctuate and come down.
Right.
But we have a lot to gain by moving to this free market regime. There's a lot of, if you look at India, and it's regarded as an industrialized country, petrochemicals tied to petroleum refining is a major part of being regarded as an industrial country. So that's what we can gain when we allow Dangote to sell, people buy, and everybody moves on.
So at the moment, are we being wise, putting all our eggs in this Dangote refinery basket? Because again, so much can the refinery refine every day. And of course, we do have a big appetite in Nigeria. Isn't it also time for the NNPC to also start looking at putting our own refineries as the country in place so that there can be proper, not competition now, but what's the word now, more collaboration between the refineries? Or are we all going to depend on the Dangote refinery?
When you try something for 10, 20, 30, 40 years and it's not working, it's better to accept the reality that's not working and just move on. trying to spend another round of billions of dollars maintaining refineries, people earning fat salaries, managing refineries, it's a waste.
Right.
It's never going to work.
Okay.
Dangote will not be a monopoly, Dangote refinery, overcharging people. Because in a free market, if it fixes a price that's so high,
Right.
someone will find a way to bring and it's not even difficult. Will find a way to bring the product from elsewhere. That's what happens in a market.
Right.
So you can't afford to. The marketers who can bring the products in. Okay. Once the government steps out of the way and clearly communicates that it's a free market, let marketers source their product from wherever, including Dangote, and people can now make decisions. Do I source from India or Singapore, or do I source from Dangote and try and save a bit on the cost? And you said we have a large appetite. There's for consuming
fuel, right?
There's nothing like the market discipline. I have an SUV. I live on the island. I don't bring it to the mainland again. That's part of getting sense from. We've wasted resources over years. We're a pampered nation.
We're a pampered nation.
And it's unfortunate because someone gives you 2 pieces of sweets, but it's taking the whole packet. That's how the NNPC system and government system works. So it's surprising that people keep demanding the system of give me something little from our fictional large resources.
Right.
But all the gains of distributing freebies tend to stick in the hands of the people distributing.
So what should the NNPC be particular about now? So the other refineries, the 2, they should have delivered last year, pushed it to this year again. Do you think this is the time to hands off totally and again privatize these refineries and hands off totally as a government entity, or still find a way to deliver maybe 2 of those 4 refineries that they're planning to deliver to Nigerians?
Well, first things first, Nigerians can enjoy competitive pricing of petroleum, supply security, even if all those refineries are given to someone for free, or if they never existed, because Dangote can supply the market. If you have fears that it could become a monopoly, other marketers can bring the fuel in. But, we spent so much on them and they're still there, national assets. What do we do to them? Privatizing is an option, but I've listened to people even suggest better options.
Okay, which is?
Just do a management contract with an experienced refiner in the world. They'll take it over for no money, but they'll invest money in improving the performance.
Okay.
So what they do is the NNPC is not involved in contracts, so it's totally efficient. So you don't have a system where Mr. XY has been appointed to, on the board of the refinery. This is as an opportunity to make the people who appointed him happy, as start to play big man through contracts. So they give it to someone, it manages, the terms are clear. That's the kind of thing we should be demanding as Nigerians, as journalists, as labor unions.
Okay.
Not things that will further enrich corrupt people in power.
Labour and others are asking for a reversal in prices. As I see you chuckle, do you see that happening, or do you see this leading to another round of industrial action?
I have to be very frank. I wonder what Labour is smoking, where they're getting the supply, what is being mixed with. Revert to what price? To 600 or to 900, that's going to crash this economy.
To perhaps 800, to the last price, which is 620, 650?
No, it's going to crash the economy. It's it's demands like that make government wary about saying there's still subsidy, pump price, Dangote price. But sorry, the situation is so bad.
Okay.
The government should have the courage of conviction to just tell people
the truth.
Sorry, this is not possible.
Okay.
Let's think of the way we run our households. You couldn't have, you are owing banks, your business is not doing well, and if you have a labor union amongst the children, they still want foreign yogurt, foreign butter. No, that system has failed.
The reality
and
has to start.
Look at what happened over the weekend with the government comms team. The president has like 4 spokespeople. They're briefing against each other. How do you plan to communicate? You know, and people talk, oh, it's going to be inflationary. That's a one-time adjustment in the price level. Right. You won't keep, you know, doing a 50%, 6 every year. No, it's a one-time adjustment. Right. The price stabilizes, then every good thing can be built on it. Okay. Investors see that you're serious, they start to consider investments in your country. Labor, if they're interested, should see that they're not even savings, but the money we should have spent on this, how it's been used to increase, you know, improve the quality of education, pay teachers more, have more quality training, things that develop human capacity, you know, our capacity to produce, become more productive, export and be innovative. So
how do Nigerians deal with this new reality?
Nigerians should check the facts themselves, the bare economic facts, and not listen to voodoo economics that will ruin us. And just look around them. What's the price of petrol in the last 10 years in Ghana, in Togo, in Liberia, even Africa? And, you know, compare the standards of living and ask ourselves how we've gained from having this thing called fuel subsidy. There's a reason why people regard petrol endowments or mineral endowments as resource cost. Some very rude people says it's a devil's excrement. It just shits on you and the economy. Pardon the rude language. Right. You know, because we have natural resource called petrol. Distorted all the economy, started taking loans. Based on, you know, a very modest country wouldn't start taking foreign loans to supply petrol. So they're better off than you with your petroleum resources. It's become an excuse, an opportunity to impoverish ourselves, to amass foreign loans, which, you know, it's just a waste.
Okay, we will take a very short break to return. And when we return, of course, we'll be taking the pattern short from our guest here in the studio.
You wanna start your day, start with Kellogg's, It is tasty and nutritious, that's why we start our days with Kellogg's, So you can reach your grades, stay active and alert, start your day right, 'cause breakfast time is Kellogg's time. You can reach your grades, stay active and alert.
I always want what's best.
Honesty is the best policy. Government communications in Nigeria is based on a fiction that government spokespeople do well. The greater their skills are lying to people. It doesn't work. You're destroying your credibility, you're destroying trust. Nigerians will find it refreshing if the government, the president, could just say, this is here we are. We're owing so much. This thing will sink Nigeria. I don't believe it's the intention of Mr. Ahmed Tinubu to go down in history as a failure. Right. He should listen less to people around him, old associates who can't tell them the truth, who are flattering him, because they're getting from the system. Right. The top 3-4 economists and Nigerians who can help him package the bare statistics of why and how fuel subsidy will sink Nigeria and what we have to gain by encouraging Dangote to sell at market price, the other refineries coming up to sell at market prices, will become a hub for supplying petrol and other products to the region. Diesel is sold at a market price. Reuters, Bloomberg, credible international
News sources.
finance source, exactly. They're reporting that Dangote export of diesel was producing diesel before he's able
petrol.
to now produce petrol. They are displaying European refiners. They export into neighboring countries. That's a vision the president should support and sell to Nigerians. We have never gained, we don't gain anything from this thing called fuel subsidy. It's responsible for high indebtedness, for poverty in the country. Let's become a hub. It's not only Dangote, Aradal, Watersmith, the modular refineries.
Right.
Once that cost of subsidy gets lifted, they start to export to the region and forex, produce jobs.
And that can come back into the Nigerian economy.
Exactly.
All right, I would have to leave this conversation here this morning. Thank you so much, Abimbola Agboluaje, Policy Communications Advisor, for finding time to be here on the program today.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for inviting me.
All right, that's the much your take on this segment of the program. We take a quick break. The conversation returns shortly.
Thank you.
The views expressed